After graduating from university, a fresh graduate will finally step into the working industry. Salaries are paid in return for the labor's work. In Islam, ujrah, which means wages on benefit, is based on the calculation of salaries for work or the benefits of the person's workforce. Nowadays, a worker's benefit is determined by their talents and work experience. However, for a fresh graduate, finding a position, especially with a high salary, is difficult. Most fresh graduates are underpaid and reluctantly accept the wages out of desperation in order to keep their jobs. There are two major factors in the implementation of the minimum salary. These factors can be seen from two perspectives, which are employees and firms. From the perspective of employees, balancing between the minimum salary and living costs is crucial in order to cope with the economic situation nowadays. Hence, the minimum salary sets a baseline level of income that ensures employees can meet their needs, such as food, housing, and healthcare. It also helps prevent exploitation and ensures that workers can maintain a decent standard of living. Besides, minimum salary policies can help reduce income inequality by establishing a floor for wages. It ensures that even the lowest paid workers receive fair and reasonable compensation, narrowing the gap between the highest and lowest earners in society. From the firm's perspective, the implementation of a minimum salary is intended to improve workforce productivity by providing a reasonable minimum salary that can motivate employees and improve their morale and job satisfaction. When employees feel fairly compensated for their work, they are more likely to be engaged and committed to their roles. In return, this can lead to increased productivity, better performance, and overall efficiency within the firm. So, the question here is the current minimum wage rate relevant to the standard of living of Malaysians? Based on the latest Belanjawanku guide published by the KWSP, the cost of living for singles in the Klang Valley is RM1,930, and for singles who owns a car, their living cost is RM2,600, and the same applies to married couples without children who need RM4,630 to live comfortably. For married couple with one children, they need RM5,980, and for married couple with two children, the estimated cost required to live in the Klang Valley is around RM6,890 per month. However, the latest poverty line income set by the government is RM2,208 per month. So, if a person earns a minimum wage of RM1,500, he is categorized as poor. Meanwhile, RM1,169 per month is categorized as hard poor. Next, the positive impact of the implementation of minimum wage policy. First, reducing the poverty rate and bridging the income gap. The increase in wages received will increase household income as well as increase consumer purchasing power. This situation will be able to reduce the number of extreme poor in this country, and this increase in ability causes less dependence on government assistance such as medicine, subsidies, and so on. Indirectly, the government will be able to save taxpayers' money. The second positive impact is social stability. The minimum wage can also provide social stability within communities. Workers who are assured of receiving a minimum income are often more likely to remain in their current jobs. This benefits employers who aren't forced to deal with the inconveniences of high turnover. In addition, workers who earn more are less likely to leave their communities in search of better wages elsewhere. This result helps stabilize neighborhoods, benefiting all who live there. Third, helping the economic cycle of the country. The wage increase they receive will feed back into the economic cycle. Expenses for food, childcare, and other household expenses will increase as their wages increase. This directly increases the economic activities around local business, such as shops, restaurants, retail, and at the same time increase tax revenue. But do you guys know the implementation of minimum wage policy also can bring negative impact to the fresh graduates and our economic condition if the rate is too high? Firstly, it would reduce employment rate. This is because if employers cannot afford to pay the government-mandated minimum wage, they will hire fewer workers. Unfortunately, workers or fresh graduates who are willing to work for lower wages would be turned down for jobs. As a result, this policy's implementation limits jobs opportunities for current graduates entering the labour market, leading to a higher unemployment rate among fresh graduates. Second, it increases competition for jobs among fresh graduates since the company limits the number of workers. Furthermore, employers nowadays prefer more skilled and experienced workers over fresh graduates who are just about to develop their skills and gain experience. Even if they hire a recent graduate, they will be unable to provide new workers with skill training because the funds will be used to pay the employee's salary. Last but not least, it can cause inflation for two reasons. The first one is that the company will raise the price of goods due to increased production costs. Second, as wages rise, purchasing power will also rise, causing the price of goods to rise to balance demand and supply in the market. This situation indirectly contributes to a high cost of living, particularly among fresh graduates who have just begun their careers and have limited financial resources. To conclude, the fresh graduate deserve a better treatment for their work. Even if their income cannot be increased, the government should consider establishing legislation of a minimum salary for new graduates. And this will open more jobs opportunities for the fresh graduates too. If their salary is not properly determined, recent graduates might be treated unfairly and underpaid. They will be paid less than their worth, almost at the same level as individuals without any formal education. By paying fair and equitable income to the fresh graduates, will surely ensure and secure the long term of employees' well-being.